Well, hello there, Retro PC Durham. It's Chris with another video. We've got another laptop here. This is a little bit different. This is an Asus laptop. It is a Asus P200S. So, little small guy, but very interesting, and actually one of the type of styles of laptops that I really like. It's got its use case, it's got its place in the laptop world, and I really enjoy these. Not just being thin and lights, but being a 2-in-1. I really think this is a great design or addition to the laptop world. Is the tablet style computer that can be used as a clamshell laptop, but I can also make it into a tent style, or I can do this style, and it allows me to be able to do maybe portrait style so I can read stuff on the go. I think these are great little laptops for usability. So taking a look at our port count on the side here, it's going to be relatively limited. So we've got a connector here that looks like a USB-C port here. We've got a USB 3.0 regular size port. We've got a micro HDMI port. We've got a SD card slot here as well for some storage. We've got a volume rocker and our power on-off switch. We've got our charging port. We've got a little charging dongle for this. So this is before USB-C charging was common on any of these types of 2-in-1s, which are obviously now. Another USB port on this side and an audio jack. And that's it. I mean, there are regular size laptops that have this kind of port arrangement as well. So you would expect it on one of these really thin ones. And we'll open it up here. We've got our standard keyboard layout and a regular touchpad with integrated buttons. And then we've got our screen, which is, I think, a 12-inch, maybe a 10.5-inch screen. And it's a touchscreen, obviously, because this is a system that's going to be used as a tablet mode as well as a clamshell. You've got to have that touch capability to be able to make stuff go on a system like this as well. We've got Windows 10 installed on this machine. It's another one of those units that does have the integrated Windows license in the BIOS. So you don't have to worry about, finding a key or anything for it to be able to get that up and running. So pretty decent in terms of that. Let's get our, maybe take a look at some of the specs on this machine, and then we'll do a crab rave test. My apologies again for any screen flickering you might be seeing here, but we've got hardware info up and running to show off our specs on this machine. So one of the things that I've always found is really challenging when you have these smaller laptops is when the manufacturers decide that small means low powered. And that really has been shown in modern laptops today to be absolutely not the case. And that the people who want to buy small laptops don't want low-end laptops. So here's one of the case. This Braswell processor, Intel Celeron N3050, is a dual-core, non-hyper-threaded, 1.6 gigahertz with a boost clock to 2.2. We've got the integrated HD 400 graphics, and we've got 2 gig of RAM, non-upgradable. So this is an underpowered machine, which even for Windows 8, which would have been the OS that was included with this at the time, that these first generation and second generation 2-in-1s came out, that's not a tremendous amount of performance to run this machine. And you could have easily put a slightly more powerful processor in here, or you could have put 4 gig of RAM in here to be able to provide a healthy amount of memory for this system to operate better. But you didn't. You put cheap in here because you thought people who want to have a small convertible laptop don't want to buy an expensive or don't want to pay for quality. And that's one of the drawbacks you see often with designers who maybe misread the market, and why you don't see a tremendous amount of success in, or how maybe convertible laptops are only now really becoming popular. It's not because Razer decided to make a convertible laptop. It's because laptop manufacturers finally figured out that people will pay for a good quality laptop that's of different build designs. Anyways, rant over. Those are our specs. I'm going to swap over to Microsoft Edge, and we're going to take a look at our crab rave test. Okay, we've got our crab rave test set up here. 1366 by 768 resolution on the screen. We're going to run 1080p and see how it goes. So right away we see some problems here. Even though this is a relatively modern processor, with, you know, all the codecs and everything you need to be able to run stuff. We've got lots of hesitation. We've got lots of hitching. We're dropping frames like crazy. You know, something that you really wouldn't expect to be happening with a new machine. So I'm going to drop down to 720p and we'll see if that corrects any of our performance issues here. All right, 720p here. We dropped a couple frames at the beginning, but I'm still seeing some hitching. So even at 720p, even at the native resolution for this screen, it's still not great, you know, which is really unfortunate. The other thing that I wanted to point out on this one that was really actually quite frustrating is, and I'm just going to end the crab rave here to show this off. So here's the thing that bugs me about this as well, right? Is I move the mouse around with the touchpad, right? I can move the mouse around with my touchpad. You can see the little mouse moving there. So when I go into something like this mode here to like sit on the desk, I can still use the touchpad. It doesn't turn it off. When I go into full tablet mode, I can still use the touchpad. It doesn't turn it off. How can you design a system like this where you want to be able to hold it like a, you know, newspaper or something, and you're going to actually still be able to use the mouse? I don't even know. I don't even know how you could have gotten through quality control designing a 2-in-1 laptop with the keyboard and the mouse still working when you're in like tent mode or tablet mode. Like complete total fail. So anyways, that's all I want to say about this one. Machine itself does what it needs to do. It's going to get into the hands of a kid who's, you know, otherwise going to be disadvantaged. And this is going to give them a little bit of a, you know, equal playing field with somebody else, maybe to be able to get some online learning, etc. So once again, as always, hope you enjoy these videos. Hope you're staying healthy, and we will catch you in the next one.